Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. I hope all of you are fine and doing well. So, topic here we are going to discuss it is the simple significance of the non-metals. Although we have seen that the non-metals are fewer as compared to metals, but they are highly significant in the life of the human beings and in our society because they have the equal importance as the metals do have. They have the importance for the human beings, they have the importance for the animals, as well as they have the importance for the plants. So they are important for all the living organisms. In fact, we can say that the life would not be possible to over there without the presence of non-metals on the earth's surface. And here we have the examples of non-metals like the diamond, we have the oxygen, the carbon, we have silicon as Si, and we have boron as B. All these are the non-metals and they have their specific uses in our lives. So let's start that how do they have the more significance in our lives. First one thing, they are the components of earth crust. Although the non-metals are existing, they make up the large part of the earth crust. Like here we have the oxygen and we have the silicon. Both these are the non-metals, and the percentage of oxygen here is from 0 to 46.6% over the earth crust, and of that silicon is almost 27.7% over the earth surface. Likewise, we have also an other component of the earth's atmosphere in which nitrogen gas, which is present in the atmosphere or in the air, almost its percentage is 78%, that is making up the most of the mass of the air. So all that is just to maintain the balance of the different compounds or the different metals in the nature, and it would also help in the different cycles like we have the water cycle, we have the nitrogen cycle as well. It would help to maintain their cycles in the lives of the human beings. On the other hand, you can see here the different metals like magnesium is just 2.1, potassium, sodium, calcium, iron, these and aluminum. All these are the metals and their percentage is very less as compared to these two non-metals on the earth's surface. So it is highly significant for us. Then they are the essential part of the living organisms. How do they are making up the body of the human beings? Basically, non-metals are essential part of the living organisms because they are making up the most of the structure. In this picture, you can see that the hydrogen, which is the non-metal, it is having is 10% in the body. The carbon, it is making up 18%. The nitrogen, it is making up 3%. And here we have the oxygen, it is most of the making up 65% of the bodies, and the other is just very less. So in this way, they are the essential part of the living organism because the human element is in total it is made up of 28 elements. But among all these 98 elements, we have 96% of the mass of the human body that is just made up of the four elements, and the what is oxygen. Then we have here hydrogen, we have carbon, and we have the nitrogen. So four are making up oxygen, hydrogen, we have carbon, and the nitrogen making up the human body. So it is essential part of the living organisms as well. After this, the non-metals are the compounds for respiration. Basically, the life owes to the non-metals as without these compounds. Now, what are these compounds? The first one is oxygen, which is having formula O2. Its mass number is 15.9, which can be taken as 16. Now, oxygen is a basically gaseous element that is essential to the organisms, especially for the aerobes. Aerobe means it is especially for the existence of the life, because without the oxygen, the process of respiration would not be happened, and without respiration, there will be no living organisms on the earth crust. These are called as aerobes, and process is known as aerobic. On the other hand, the second gas, which is the carbon dioxide, as CO2. Here, the CO2 it is exhaled by the living organisms during the process of respiration. On the other hand, it has been used by the plants for the process of photosynthesis. So both these processes are very important, and without these non-metallic compounds it would not be possible. So they are very essential for the living organisms as well. Then the non-metals also have the role for maintaining, for the maintenance of life. How do they have? Basically, all the eatables that we have, they contain the lipids, they contain nucleic acid, carbohydrates, and the proteins. All are made up of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Among carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, these three are non-metals. So that's why they, for the survival of the life on the earth crust, along with these, we also contain the fats, we also contain or take the water, we also take the vitamins. All these are basically made up of specific type of the known metals. So in this way, the known metals just show or play a vital role for the maintenance of the life on the earth crust. Then we have the safety of life, that how do we can save the life over the earth crust. There is an other important non-metal that is very important for the living organism. It is the water. Its formula is H2O. It is a compound that is made up of basically two non-metals, in which the one is hydrogen and other is oxygen. So without water, the survival of the earth's living organism would not be possible. On the other hand, when we talk about the nitrogen, it is basically the percentage of nitrogen in the air, which is 78%, oxygen is 21%, and the other gas is 1%. So the more percentage of the non-metals just made up the different compounds over the earth crust, that are very important for the human beings as well, for the better survival of the life. So the last, they are the major source of the energy. When we talk about the hydrocarbons and the fossil fuels, the fossil fuels like the crude oils, the natural gas, which is the methane, the coal and the brown coal and the peat, all these are basically the non-metals, and these non-metals are the specific source of energy for all the living organisms. So we can say that without the non-metals, we the life would be not possible over the earth's surface, as their percentage is very less, but they are very less in number, but they are very important for the human beings. So this was all about today's lecture of significance of non-metals. I hope you guys understand. And the next topic we will discuss about the displacement reactions. These are the specific type of reactions that just happen due to the non-metals. For that time, you guys keep learning and have a good day.